Hey everyone. Hi Scorpio. Anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. Um, I was just thinking of how I would love to just be able to look at the card, like have a conversation with you without talking about it so much. You know? But it's not that it's not possible. But there's something about all the technology that's in between that makes it challenging, right? Sorry, I just woke up and I don't. You know, there's days where you just don't feel like you like yourself. You know? Like you can't. Like I just want to shave my head right now. You know? I just want to. Something that's just. I don't know. I don't know, Scorpio. There's like a lot that wants to be said. I hope that stays. It's not gonna. It's like you don't have the tools. There's something about like you don't have exactly the tools that you need to be able to achieve something that you need. And it stresses you out. Not completely, but like it's sort of annoying. Now, Mercury's in your sign, Venus is in your sign in retrograde. Jupiter is leaving you. There's all kinds of crazy things for those of you who like astrology. On November 8th is a really big deal. Now, okay, I'm going to show you your cards because most of you know about tarot. What you want: Two of Wands. What you need: Two of Cups. Libra and Aries both received this, as far as I recall. Very interesting. That same position. What's helping you? Queen of Wands, which obviously can very much be you. You're ruled by Mars, okay? What's hindering you? Queen of Cups. A lot of consideration to your feeling. These two also are having like, well, this Queen of Wands is trying to have a conversation with this Queen of Cups, but the Queen of Cups is too distracted with her own complication of feelings. And a consideration to like what it is, but no one knows what's inside of this cup. No one, not even her. That's why she's like looking at it that way. Like, what is in? I don't even remember why I don't even remember why I have this cup, and I feel like we talked about this last year. Interesting. Now, what's going to happen? Like, what the energy of what you're kind of learning about and what the end of this time period will be of these cards, not necessarily the end of October, is Six of Wands. Awesome. The overarching energy is the Hierophant, which is technically your opposite sign, Taurus. And then I also picked an individual card from the Mary L Tarot to represent this Venus transit. We're going to choose one every reading just to see like where you're at and what you're learning, because Venus is important, you know. All planets are important, but Venus rules love. And what's the opposite of love but fear, you know? I just got a headache right here. you receive the world. I heard something really specific, and then I just wondered what my responsibility was to say. Okay, Scorpio, you know how you know certain things, right? It's Mercury in Scorpio too, which is saying things real square. Really, you say things pretty square anyway. But there was something about the responsibility of when to say something and when not to say something, because particularly when you're speaking to a group of people, but then I heard, why are we worried about what other people say? But I know that this is what's hindering you. You're concerned about what to say. Because I think you're trying to check in and be like, am I about to say something because you want to say how you feel, right? But you hold a lot of things in, that Queen of Cups, right? What happens when the Queen of Cups finally says all the things that are in this cup? Well, it can be kind of intense. Let me tune in a second, because I feel like this took it actually took a right. Well, what you want is your world to change in a way. But a lot of people actually, what they want, the cards look into the past. Okay? All their cards, what they want is something that either to change the past, or what they actually are wanting in this life, the way that they're asking for it, trying to manifest it, trying to put it into this physical world. Because we always get what we want, right? To fulfill what it is that we need, but not necessarily the way that we want it, because a lot of times it depends whether we're aware of why it is that we want what we want. And how much we think, I guess, and know whether we deserve it or not. Like, what is to okay, let's break down that word for a second. Deserve. Okay, which actually collectively means something good, right? Like, well, I guess it means something good. Like, I deserve respect, or I deserve. But to serve someone means that, well, you're a servant. Someone has to be a servant. And D means under. So who's under? Okay, so in a house, I've never experienced this, but I've seen it in the movies. So we have, like, the people that run the mansion, the people that own the mansion. Then they have their servants. Well, who's under the servants? Like, what is the level of that? And then I heard levels of the mind, like conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Because I think the unconscious is actually very blocked. And there's absolutely no need for that, because right underneath this is, here's the undercurrent right now. Root chakra, mental state blocked for some reason or another, but this was your original card, which shows me that I think that you should connect more to Leo than you think that you do. Like, the things you like about Leo is who you are. The things that you don't like about Leos is also who you are. And I know that's hard for you, right? This is also a Leo card to me. Can be Sagittarius technically, but I see it as Leo right now. It's Leo and Cancer. They're right next to each other. This is a very interesting reading. I hope you're following. Something's very close together. Something's very close together, right? Something's very close together. But even in that, there's something that very much separates it. And I heard, why is that? What is that? You know? Good girls. You know, what you know, you are the owner of the mansion of yourself. You are the proprietor of you. You're the proprietor of your life. Yes, of course, God in a way is in charge, right? The stars give you the house, right? But then you decide how to arrange that house, how to organize that house, how to decorate that house, how it looks, how it feels when you walk in. You choose how much time and energy to put into certain rooms, right? Good girls in me. Like, what it looks like on the outside, what it looks like on the inside, this is all up to you. Hi, baby. You want to come here? Come here. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. It's all up to you, Scorpio. Zumi said to not worry about your one-on-one relationship so much. In Libra time, like, and also not to push them away. Does that make sense? Who you're connected to, soulfully, right? Because this is what you need. You need to connect to someone soulfully. You need to feel like that. You need to know that. But I guess what is it that part of you that where you desire your I desire, which is I want, which is also Leo, is technically also I want and I rule. So there is something connected to that. I mean, obviously you could watch their video or just do a little research where Leo is in your chart, etc. You know, also your sun sign. But like, what is it about what you want that blocks you from getting what it is that you need? You know, what makes you feel like you're at only a 2? And, you know, this really does have to do with home. It has to do with the house. Issa, come on, baby. Come on over here, please. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes, you too. Yes, you too. I know. What do you want to tell Scorpio? What do you want to tell him? You want to tell him everything's going to be okay? You want someone to hold you? Love you? You want to not have to worry about, you know, you got no pentacles here. Stay over here, okay? Well, if you want someone to love you, then, well, I heard you got to love yourself. You have to know that wherever you feel stuck right now, you will be able to get out of it, but only you will be able to get out of that. I sense that it's something internal that irritates you. It's not external. It came from an external source originally, but now it's internal. And you need help from others to be able to get that, like, whatever it is inside that's bothering you out. Like, you can't, there's something you can't do by yourself. And I know that's maybe hard for you to want to accept, right? Right? Because even this Hierophant is holding its hand up, like, no. Like, the world's like, here, you want to close this out? And it's like, nah. I like the way I know how to I know how to handle it. I don't need your help. Well, that's stubborn. It's wicked stubborn. Let's see how to be more like this Two of Cups, right? Because this doesn't have to be lovey love. It can be just your friendships, you know? Let's see. The World again. Okay, Venus is in retrograde, 9 of Wands on the bottom, right? What does this mean? Anything in retrograde means we go back and we check over what happened. I see the relationship with your father is a big deal. I see the relationship with your father affects your intimate partnerships with other folks. It either helps or hinders it. It all depends. It probably does a little bit of both, but which one, where are you? This is a general reading, right? Where are you? I also see that the mother, although there's two women here, like the females in your life, and also different aspects of you, energetically, emotionally, right? Your actions and the way that you feel. Those are like next to one another, like I mentioned before. Something's very close, but there's something in the way. And what's in the way right now? My head. You know, the way you think about it. That Eight of Swords. It's like, what is it about? And this is about thinking too. Like, you can't go back and change the past. And you can't have a different, you'll never have a different future if you're living in the past, right? You'll never have a different present if you're living in the past, and you'll never have a different present if you're too focused on hurrying up to the future. The world wants you to don't stop living in the past is what I heard. Pretty clear, actually. Right? But you already know that that's not appropriate. How much have you learned, Scorpio? Right? You became the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. Again, the Queen of Wands is your power. That's your Mars. That's your oomph. That's your ambition. That's your and I heard again, power. Making two fists, right? You're like pushing through something. You're ready to fight for something. You're ready to defend yourself about something when necessary. You finally understand your strength about it, right? But the emotions are still really contained. And let's see how to open that. Oh. Okay, this right here, this was in a Taurus reading 2017. I think maybe in April 2017. It was a 9-card spread. This turned into this exactly, which again is your opposite. You know, that too, because I was wondering. It's too much. Issa, get out of there. Come on, get out. There's snakes and stuff. Get. No offense to you, Scorpio. Come on, out. Yes, get out of there. Exploring. It wants to go into the underground. But why? It's scary down there. Stay in the light. Just because you're Scorpio doesn't mean you have to live in the dark. Doesn't mean you have to feel bad. It doesn't mean you have to feel scared. It doesn't mean you have to mistrust people. It doesn't mean any of that. Sure, yes, you know things that other people don't know, but that's part of your power. Do you see that as powerful yet, or does that still make you feel like who you are is something that you have to hide? And if you do feel like that, why? Why do you feel like that? I like that this death, this is your card, Scorpio, turns into, look how much lighter. Less armor, okay? You go from bone to skin, right? You're like growing. You start to be more at peace with love, with the way that you express how it is that you feel, right? Look at that. Very interesting reading. It's fascinating. As a tarot reader that I am, I'm not allowed to remember everything that I channel, if you will. Because although all the energy is everyone's energy, we're all learning, right? But there's something about not holding on to it. That's like the high priestess, right? You're a vessel for something to transfer through, to filter through, to feel, but then let go. It's not about if the high priestess just held on to everything, well then it would interrupt her ability to be able to, I heard, go out into the world and go outside of herself. Okay, it would just block her. And you can't do that. Okay? No, it's too stressful. Okay? You have to let other people help you. Leave that lizard alone. They're cute. Now, let's choose from the Warrior of Light. It's by the same gentleman who wrote The Alchemist, Scorpio. Okay, you're on page 93, that's 12. Good, that's about going all the way around, right? It says, once he has learned how to use a sword, the Warrior of Light discovers that his equipment is still incomplete. He needs armor. He sets off in search of this armor, and he listens to the advice of various salesmen. Use the breastplate of solitude, says one. Use the shield of cynicism, says another. The best armor is not to get involved in anything, says a third. The warrior, however, ignores them. He calmly goes to his sacred place and puts on the indestructible cloak of faith. Faith parries all blows. Faith transforms poison into crystal clear water. Wow. Wow. Let me read that again. Once he has discovered how to use a sword, the Warrior of Light discovers that his equipment is incomplete. He needs armor. Does he, though? He sets off in search of this armor, and he listens to the advice of various salesmen. Use the breastplate of solitude, says one. Use the shield of cynicism, says another. The best armor is to not get involved in anything, says a third. The warrior, however, ignores them. He calmly goes to his sacred space and puts on the indestructible cloak of faith. Faith parries all blows. Faith transforms poison into crystal clear water. you know, if you don't have faith, if you feel like you need to wear that armor, right? Literal armor, heavy, protective, whether that's, again, solitude, cynicism, ignorance, right? Like, I'm not even going to deal with you. Like, I can't deal with you. I don't know how to deal with this. I'm going to go be alone. Well, then you're forgetting about faith, and you can never have the Two of Cups, even if you're in a relationship. Like, that friendship, that whatever, that connection, those two things that are really close to one another can never really combine ultimately in the soul, in the heart, if you don't have faith that it can do that. If you feel like someone's always going to try to hurt you, if you're paranoid, if you're worried, if you're concerned, or think, you know, again, relating to whatever it is that happened in the past, and I heard the word father again, like, to now, right? You know, because maybe some of you have a really good relationship with your father and your expectations are too high, you know? Or maybe it wasn't so good, and now you think that a person's going to do the same, male or female. You know, it's I guess you got to think about, like, what kind of armor you have, what ways you protect yourself that are unnecessary. Because, like, with Leo, like I was mentioning, right, the sun, cool. You know, what happens? So, this is life, right? And then we put on armor. Well, we take away all the light, right? We don't let any of that light shine through of who it is that we are, but that's not faith, right? If we think we're going to get burned by something and we cover ourselves up completely, well, then what happens? Well, we don't have any of that warmth in our body. We don't have the warmth that we need in our heart. Interesting reading. Thanks for letting me read for you. You know, I know this is kind of a weird thing. I don't know if people, well, you probably get it, but, like, I'm just watching the wind kind of push things around, you know? It all depends on what you want to pay attention to. And I see it's important for you to pay attention to how that is in your mind, because I tend to find that most Scorpios have a very strong mind, you know? All right. I love you so much. It's just 28 minutes, even to 10. You know? Happy early birthday to any of you who will have it the end of the month, and I'll see you on your birthday. Peace.